Hi gang, it's Kate from the Fold Line and I am back this week with the Sew Down. So this is our new blog series. We've done one before where I every month talk to you guys about things that I've read, bought, seen, been to, a little rundown of things in the sewing world that I thought you'd find interesting. So this month has been quite busy. I've actually made something, so I'm going to start with the thing that I've actually made, which I feel very proud of myself. It doesn't happen that often these days. So I am wearing it. It's called the Acton Dress by In the Folds. I'm going to stand up and do a little twizzle. This is the dress. I'm actually going to open it up so I can show you because it's quite an interesting cut. So from the waistline, it literally goes straight out on both sides, and then you wrap them around and tie them. And yeah, I think it's a really cool pattern. I made a size, I think I cut the size 12 out. It fitted straight from the packet, which is an absolute dream and very rarely happens. And yeah, I just really like the pattern. I think it's a good one. And if you're looking to try something new and you need a dress, something sort of, I think you could definitely wear this for a wedding. You could like dress it up and make it a bit more kind of formal, but also I've made it in a sort of a linen viscose and it's quite nice and relaxed and crumpled, and yeah, I love it. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. Up next, I've got, what should I do? I'll do my fabrics. So I have got this beautiful fabric which I bought. Here we go. It's navy, everything I buy is navy. This is from Dragonfly Fabrics, and it is a cotton. It's a Japanese cotton, and you can see here it's got a really nice texture to it. I loved the print. It almost looks like a linen. It's got that sort of, it's got very, I think you can see probably very slightly textured look to it, and it's, yeah, they're beautiful. I just love the prints. I've actually got another one which I've bought for another project, which you can see here also from Dragonfly Fabrics. They have a whole range of Japanese cottons and they're all in this sort of navy and beautiful prints. Yeah, I just love them. I should have said right at the beginning of this, everything that I mention I'll pop links down to below so that you can go and have a look or read or listen or whatever it is that I'm talking about. Yeah, so those are my fabrics. Very pleased with those. The next thing is, so because I spend a lot of my time thinking, writing about sewing, sometimes you actually just need something to do in the evenings that isn't sewing related and that you can do in front of the TV, because obviously once you're doing your proper sewing, you need sort of, you can't just kind of do it and relax at the same time, you have to concentrate on it. So what I have started doing, which is very cool, is cross stitch. So I've got this really lovely cross stitch. I've actually made a bit of progress with it. So that is it at the moment. It's a prawn. I'll show you the print. This is what it looks like when it's done. So the designer is Emily Peacock, and she does really nice kits, which are quite interesting. She's got lots of different ones that look like tattoos, she's got ones with words, and then she's got this range of animals, which I really like, all kind of sea related animals. And yeah, the kit was quite expensive. I think it was about £50 or £55, so it was quite a big kind of financial investment. But actually I really like it because it comes with everything, you know, you get your wool, they come in like your little, like, I don't even know what these are called, they probably have a proper name, but they all come kind of twizzled up together. And yeah, it's been really nice actually. So something that's like a little bit different that you can just pull out and do for 10 minutes while you're, you know, waiting for your dinner to get finished, or you're watching something that it doesn't need your full attention and you can do something else. So I'm really enjoying doing that. I also wanted to ask your advice. So if you know any interesting cross-stitching kits that are, I suppose I don't want ones that look that kind of less crafty, I would say, because I like this because it's a bit more modern. Yeah, if you've got any recommendations, I'd love to hear, because I'm definitely thinking about my next one already. So that is what I'm stitching. Reading, so I've got two things. The first thing is, if you haven't bought this yet, this is definitely worth having a look at. This is Susie magazine, an independent sewing magazine designed and made in the UK, and it's quite nice. I guess it feels very handmade in its feel because they've used real bloggers. I'll show you kind of, let's have a look. You know, there's quite nice spreads, but yeah, they're all real people that they've used in it. They've got interesting articles about sewing businesses. They've got playlist options when you're sewing, and you know, trend ideas. Yeah, they're definitely worth having a look at, and the magazine's nice. I think it's £10, and they send them out to you, so you can definitely buy them online, and I'll pop a link down below. The next thing that I'm reading, I don't actually have it with me because Rachel has it, is the Brand Brilliance book by, is it I think it's, sorry, my laptop's here, I'm pretty sure it is. Don't want to say the wrong name. Fiona Humberstone, that was what I thought it was. This is a really good book. Rachel actually went to their book launch and had a really good time there and met lots of nice people. But she's written, this is her second book, and the first book is called Style Your Brand, which is also really interesting. If you've got a small business and I found these books really interesting, and they're definitely worth having a look at. They just give you advice on how to style your brand, thinking about, you know, your company as a brand and colours, and yeah, it's really interesting and definitely worth having a look at. So yeah, that is my, yeah, it's a beautiful book. I mean, really beautiful. And she also actually runs lots of workshops, so if you did read it and you think, yeah, I want to learn a little bit more, you can go and do one of her day workshops, which is also really, they sound really fun. I really want to go and do one. So what have I got next? So up next, scissors. Now these, I feel a little bit like, this is a very personal purchase, like finding your perfect pair of scissors, and it's something that I have looked around the market for ages. I've tried pretty much all the top brands, and I just wanted to, one, talk to you about what I think, and also ask your opinion on what you think. So last year I bought myself a pair of Ernest Wright scissors. They are, you know, the scissor to have. They're like the Gucci of scissors. They're quite expensive. They were £40 or £45, so you know, not like, you know, not something you buy on a whim. And I don't know if it's just me, but I mean, they are great, but they're really heavy. Because they're all metal, I find them quite heavy to use, and actually if I'm cutting out something that's slightly thicker, or I've got loads and loads to cut out, I actually get quite sore hands from using them. And yeah, I'm not sure actually for me whether I love them that much. I mean, they look beautiful, so you know, they've won me over that way, but yeah, they didn't, like, you know, make my heart sing for joy, and especially as I'd spent £40 on them. Yeah. I then tried loads of other ones. I tried the Fiskars ones, I tried kind of really general ones, and then weirdly I borrowed a pair of Rachel's scissors which she had floating around at home, and they were amazing, and I was like, where on earth did you get these, because I need a pair. And it's these ones, and they are from Sew Over It. So I went and bought myself a pair instantly. They are, I think they're £25, and I think you can buy them online, so I'll pop a link down below. They come with a little like sheath protector, which I have obviously lost because, you know. But these are amazing. So they have got plastic handles. They're a lot lighter. They're probably a third lighter than the Ernest Wright scissors. And they are just, they've got really sharp pointed ends, so it means that you can cut really accurately. Honestly, I've tried pretty much all of them, and these are the best dressmaking scissors I've ever used. They are amazing, and anyone else who has, or you know, if you've got a pair of scissors at home which are a bit blunt and you're thinking about buying some new ones, I cannot recommend these enough, because I've used them, I've had these for a while, quite a long time actually, and they haven't blunted at all, whereas the Ernest Wright ones I have noticed have become slightly blunter. So these are, for me, the ultimate in cutting. So yeah, I would highly recommend these. I've got two things. So I've got two things to listen to. So I'm just gonna, my laptop's over here. I can't remember the exact name. So the first thing was a really interesting thing that I listened to on Radio 4. It's about sizing of clothes, and they're talking about it from a commercial point of view. So they're talking about how many people are returning clothes which they bought online because they bought the wrong size, and then talking about intrinsically why sizing and why that doesn't work anymore, and how that, like, ways that they're going to change it for the future, because more and more people are going to be buying online. And as someone who makes and someone who knows about sizing, and we've all bought loads of different patterns, and every single pattern you buy you're a different size. This is just a really interesting program. It's, how long is it? It's not very long, it's only like 4 or 5 minutes, but it's just a really interesting conversation about that, and I thought it was something that you guys would be interested in. The last thing I'm going to talk to you about is a podcast. Thank you so much everyone who recommended lots of podcasts. Let's keep sharing all the podcasts that we like, because it's really nice to sort of talk about what we're listening to. I listen to them while I sew, so I am always looking for new ones. So I've got 2 different podcasts actually. I'm going to do 2. I was going to do 1, but I've just decided I'm going to do 2. So the first one that I want to talk about is called How I Made This. No, How I Made This. Is it How I Made This? Yes, I think it's How I Made This. Let's go with that. Obviously, I listen to it every week and I can't remember the title of it, which I think says everything about my brain at the moment. So this podcast is it's one of my favourites. I listen to it every week. It comes out every Monday, and each week they do a story about a different person who set up a business and their journey. And it's really nicely done. It's properly produced. They've got great sound. It's really nicely put together. Some of my favourites of people that they've interviewed. So they interviewed the woman who invented the Spanx. They did Kate Spade. The woman who set up Dermalogica, the skin brand, which was that one I would really recommend. I'll pop a link to specifically that one. I mean, I think they've had Airbnb, they've had like the most incredible selection of people on there, and they're about half an hour long, half an hour to 40 minutes long, and they're just really interesting. And anyone who is interested in business, and they're just really nice stories to listen to, so they're something that I really love. The other one I'm going to talk about it's along the same vein. It's the Tacular podcast. So for those of you who haven't heard of Tacular, it is a blogging conference which actually will have just been to it by the time this comes out. It runs in June. It's a day event where you go and learn loads of things, meet lots of people, really nice creative day. But she does this really fantastic podcast alongside it where she interviews people with their own businesses. Each one has a slightly different angle, but they're really interesting, and quite a lot of them are UK based, which I find really interesting because I'm UK based as well. But I would really recommend them. They're nicely done, and she's got interesting people, and they're doing lots of different things, all kind of creative but in completely different areas. So yeah, that is definitely worth listening to. Right, so I feel like I need to cough almost. I've whizzed through all of those. I hope you enjoyed that. We'll be back with another video very, very soon. And until then, have a lovely weekend. Let me know about podcast recommendations, things you've been reading. Let's start a conversation down below so we can talk about things that we like listening to, reading, going to. Make it a good kind of chat down below. Yes, that is it. I'm going to end this now. Bye.